guys, I am here to talk all about my eating disorder. I actually never imagined that I'd be doing a video like this because I was so uncomfortable with it. I think that I hid it really well. I don't really think anybody in my life around me actually knew that I had an eating disorder. Wow, I did really good like concealing this. So the most popular eating disorder is anorexia nervosa, and that is just you don't eat anything. The next one that I am familiar with is bulimia. And bulimia is when you consume food and you purge it. Binging is the next form of an eating disorder, which is just you binge and you eat a lot, like a lot of food. And then, like I said, sometimes, you know, purging can come with that where you're throwing up your food. Eating disorder that I had was binging. But I did used to eat an unspeakable amount of food at times. You start feeling full, but you just keep eating. It's like you ignore your body's, you know, telling you stop eating, like stop eating. You just ignore it and you just keep on eating. My binging was more about fast food. More times than not, I would come home with fast food or Taco Bell or something like that. Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's. I would hit up Taco Bell and I would order like 6 hard shell tacos, which is a lot, and then like cheesy fiesta potatoes, which I didn't get introduced to those until closer to surgeries. I, you know, would have them time to time. Half a dozen hard shell tacos, which is a lot. Taco Bell, and it has all this crap in it, and it's just not good food for you. It's not healthy. It's not fuel for your body. It's just a bunch of calories. The side effects that would come with binging is that, you know, when you eat like crap, you know, your heart races, or I would burp up like the Taco Bell taste. It was just disgusting. You know, in the morning, a lot of times I would have a headache. When I woke up, I would have a restless sleep. My sheets would be everywhere. It was just crazy. And it was like, I just kept going. Like, I would just keep doing it. I only came to terms with it when I went in for my first psychologist appointment, because my insurance actually required me to go to a psychologist before I was approved for surgery. And I made up every single excuse in the book as to why she told me that I wasn't ready for surgery. But really it was because I had like a 300 questionnaire that, you know, I had to go through and answer all the questions and stuff. And some of the questions that I answered, yeah, they showed that I was like depressed, but they also showed signs that like I had an eating disorder. And she finally read like off my results, and she was telling me like how she came to the conclusion of why she feels that I shouldn't get the surgery, you know, until after I get counseling and stuff. She was telling me that, you know, you told me about instances where you had binging, you know, episodes, and you ate too much. And she was like, you know, that's binging and da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, I told her, I was like, well, I haven't purged, so it's just basically eating. But she's like, it's overeating, and it's overeating consistently. So she was like, yeah, that's definitely like borderline eating disorder. That was the first time that I actually had somebody like talk to me about it and tell me like, yeah, I think you do have a problem. I didn't like the results. You know, she told me that I needed counseling with a nutritionist for a year before I could get the surgery. I just very politely called my insurance coordinator from my clinic, and I told her what the psychologist was saying and that she was going to send the results. And could you not send them to my insurance company because I really want this surgery? By the grace of God, I can honestly say that I am not, you know, I don't suffer from that eating disorder anymore. All the way up to like my 3.5 week post-op, I felt like really deprived from food, just because, you know, it still hurts when it goes down and you can't eat certain things. So like, it kind of makes you think that like maybe you might not be able to eat anything for the rest of your life, kind of thing. You have such a unhealthy but close relationship to food, you start to feel like, you know, you're missing out, and it's like losing something that was really close to you that you relied on. I actually watched a video on YouTube, and it was a female who was saying that she had an eating disorder before she got you know, the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and she was saying that when she had the sleeve, she would actually chew food and spit. She wouldn't swallow it, but she would chew it and just spit, and it would like kind of satisfy like a percentage of your want for food and stuff. So that's what I started doing. Like, I was like, okay, let me try that. You know, I was like, you know, maybe I'll try it for a little bit. It just wasn't worth it, and I didn't feel like I was moving forward. You know, a lot of people who get this surgery, weight loss surgery, they have an eating disorder, and we can slip past the insurance companies like so much. It's not hard to do. You know, you just sit down with a psychologist and you basically lie to them and just tell them that you're in your right mind, you're not depressed, you're in your right mind, you're not anxiety ridden, you're in your right mind, you don't have an eating disorder. You know, you could just lie. You know, and I mean, I hate to say it like that, but that's what a lot of people do, and you never hear about this kind of stuff. You know, like now being 8 weeks post-op, I don't feel like I have an eating disorder. You know, you will mourn the fact that you can't eat, you know, a ton of food, but then really, really care about yourself enough. The results are what really matters, like the pounds that you lose every week. You know, every post-op appointment that you have and you're down more and more pounds. That is such an accomplishment that I just can't see myself ever ruining that, you know, that result. I had this eating disorder probably for like, I would say 9-10 years. It's a long time to hide something and for people to not know. There was other times where I would like hide food and I would bring it up to my room in my bag or something like that from the kitchen or whatever, and then I would just go to town, honey. Now I don't do that stuff. You know, if I bring anything up to my room in the line of food, it's fruit or vegetable. It becomes a reality and you really realize you just cannot do it. You should be able to let go. If you can't, and you know your eating disorder is still like causing you to eat everything and stuff like that, it's really unhealthy because your staples in your stomach can pop, and you know you can really irritate your incisions and things like that depending on how many weeks out you are from surgery. So I would say definitely go get the help. I don't think that the risk is really, it's not going to pay off. You know, I really, really feel that this surgery has saved my life, because if I didn't get this surgery, having, you know, an eating disorder like binging, you can literally eat yourself to death. If, you know, you feel like you have one, but maybe you haven't told anybody, you know, look into getting the surgery. And if you have the willpower within you and you get to see results and things like that, you will be able to stop doing what you're doing. You know, it is psychological. It's just some people's minds are a little more inclined to be stronger to stop, you know, once you get a surgery like this. And then there's some people who need help actually, and their minds just keep reverting. And I've watched people on YouTube who say in their videos that they still have an eating disorder and that they chew and spit and they're still doing that after surgery. You really need to go get counseling because it can only help you, you know. That is my story about my eating disorder, and I haven't actually told anybody, and nobody knows anything about this, so you guys are the first ones who get to hear about this. I am burying my soul. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on Friday. Bye.